Have you ever tried to imagine a world without the internet? It's almost unthinkable, right? We use it for everything, from ordering pizza to managing global finance. But what if one day it just vanished? Poof, gone. No warning, no explanation. What would actually happen? Let's dive into that fascinating and frankly terrifying thought experiment. The first few minutes would be chaos, but a quiet, personal kind of chaos. You'd reach for your phone, but nothing would load. Your smart speaker would be just a plastic brick. You might think it's just your Wi-Fi. You'd restart your router, check your data, maybe even curse your service provider. But then you'd look outside. Your neighbors are doing the same thing, looking confused. The silence would be the first thing you'd notice. No notifications, no pings, no background noise from a streaming video. Just silent. Within the first hour, the real problems would begin. Communication would be the first major system to collapse. No emails, no instant messaging, no social media. Even our phone calls would be in trouble. Most modern phone networks, including mobile and many landlines, rely on voice over IP or VIP, which uses the internet to function. So, your smartphone becomes just a very expensive calculator and camera, long distance, and international calls. Forget about it. We'd be thrown back to a time of relying on short-range radio or, gasp, writing letters. The global village we've built would instantly shatter into isolated communities. As the day progresses, the economic fallout would be catastrophic. The global financial system is a digital beast. The stock market, which is entirely electronic, would cease to exist. All digital transactions would halt. You couldn't use your credit card, you couldn't access your bank account online, and ATMs would be useless. The world's economy, trillions of dollars that exist only as data packets zipping across the globe, would be frozen. This isn't just an inconvenience. It's a complete meltdown of modern commerce. Companies with global supply chains would be flying blind. A shipment of car parts from Germany to the US. No way to track it. No way to pay for it. No way to clear it through customs, which are also digitized. The just-in-time delivery system that powers our stores would crumble, leading to empty shelves within days. Think about our infrastructure. So much of it is now managed by what's called the Internet of Things, power grids. For example, while the core generation of electricity might continue, the complex systems that balance the load and prevent blackouts are heavily reliant on internet-based communication. Without it, operators would be working with incomplete information, making widespread rolling blackouts almost inevitable. The same goes for water treatment plants, traffic light systems, and public transportation. Schedules would vanish, signals would fail, cities would grind to a halt. By the end of the first week, society would be transforming in ways we can't even fully predict. The initial confusion would turn to widespread panic. Without access to online news or government websites, information would travel only by word of mouth, leading to rampant rumors and misinformation. Imagine a global game of telephone, but with life or death information. How would governments coordinate emergency responses? How would they communicate with their citizens? It would be a monumental challenge. People would rush to stores to stock up, but with supply chains broken and payments impossible, what could they even buy? We'd likely see a rapid return to a barter system. I'll trade you this can of beans for some batteries. Let's talk about knowledge. The internet is our external brain, the Library of Alexandria of our time. Every piece of information, from how to bake bread to complex medical procedures, is at our fingertips. Suddenly, that's all gone. Doctors in a rural hospital could to access the latest treatment protocols or consult with a specialist across the country. Engineers couldn't look up schematics for a failing piece of equipment. Students couldn't research their papers. We'd be left with only the knowledge stored in physical books and, more importantly, in our own heads. The specialists, the mechanics, the farmers, the people with practical, hands-on skills would suddenly become the most valuable members of society. After a month, a new, much more localized world would begin to take shape. Communities would be forced to become efficient. Urban farming would go from a hobby to a necessity. We'd have to relearn skills that our great-grandparents took for granted. How to preserve food, how to repair things, how to entertain ourselves without streaming services. The social fabric would change entirely. We'd be forced to connect with our neighbors in a way we haven't for generations. Your local community wouldn't just be the people who live near you. They would be your lifeline. Of course, this isn't all doom and gloom. Some might argue that in the long run, it could be a good thing. We'd be less distracted, more present. We'd reconnect with the physical world and with each other on a deeper level. Without the endless scroll of social media, perhaps our mental health would improve. We'd create art, music, and stories in new, analog ways. The pace of life would slow down dramatically. We would look up at the stars instead of down at our screens. But getting to that point would be a struggle for survival on a global scale. The transition would be brutal. The loss of the internet wouldn't just be an inconvenience. It would be an extinction-level event for the modern way of life as we know it. It highlights just how fragile our interconnected world really is. We built a magnificent, complex civilization on a foundation of digital code and fiber optic cables. And while it has given us unprecedented prosperity and connection, it's also our greatest vulnerability. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? It makes you appreciate that little Wi-Fi symbol just a bit more. What do you think? Could we survive and rebuild? What skill do you have that would be most useful in a world without the internet? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It's a fascinating discussion to have. Thank you so much for watching and for exploring this wild scenario with me. If you enjoyed this and want to see more thought-provoking what-ifs, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.